Happy World Cup watchers, draft crafters. It's Dan, it's JP, and dude, I'm almost too distracted to do a show right now because it's 5:21.
That's a
That's always a good
week.
sound.
Have
Even
you
when
heard
it's a
it?
week, it's still a good sound. Yeah, it wasn't your best. I'll give you that. And right now you can say it wasn't the best from certain guys with Croatia and England because they're playing in the other football right now in the World Cup. And hey, it's been fun for those of you that are not soccer fans. The one they call football everywhere else in the world. This is the fun time to check it out, even if it's just to pop in for a little bit here and there. A lot of the games are on Fox, and everything's on Telemundo if you can understand and watch the game that way. But it's fun to watch countries go at it because that is something we don't have here in the U.S. The closest I think we have to the level that other nations get to with their insane level of pageantry and fandom is maybe some college sports, but even then it's not the same. It's just a state away or something where the rest of the country doesn't really care.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, the wild soccer environments when it's one nation versus another nation, the environment's insane. Like I
Yeah.
always said, the closest you could get to that environment, and you're spot on with the college football, is be hockey.
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
why. Like to me, so the worst to me would be like baseball and basketball. It almost feels like it's a
Yeah.
social event in the
They're a
stands,
little more relaxed,
especially
yeah.
for it's just chill. People are hanging out, talking, kind of watching
hmm
the game as they
You
go.
you get the spikes of
Football,
activity with basketball here and there when a play happens or a run happens, and you get a home run. Everyone wakes up for baseball, and that's about it.
yeah, like pro football, you're watching the crowd and like they're into it. They're intent, like they're
Right.
locked in. They're yelling about calls, like that's
hmm
fun. But you don't get like college, you get the band and the
Right.
singing and things like that, and you're starting to get a little closer to it. Hockey fans are just crazy. They're
Yeah.
banging on the glass and wrestling each other and
hmm
whipping octopus out on the ice and throwing hats out there. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, college
Yeah.
football and NHL are as close as we're gonna get.
Right. And again, like the full props I will give because I've said this before, I'll say it again. We suck at the level of fandom that these other countries do because even the not just the countries, you see even like small town teams in England where the fans are coming up with on the spot song cheers that are
Hmm.
not always the most complimentary of the other team, right? It's like they just come up with this stuff off the top of their heads. I was watching a match earlier today, and literally, I think there was "Shot Through the Heart" was on, right?
Hmm.
You give love a bad name, and they kept singing, like or one of the Bon Jovi songs. The
Hmm.
whole crowd kept singing, like everybody was into it. And it's like, and we just don't outside of a couple spots here and there, we just don't see the same thing. But it's not really what we're here to talk about today.
Nope, nope. We're doing a ranking show, and I threw a little curveball
Yeah,
at
you
you.
did.
Instead of us both doing rankings, I wanted to have fun and I'm gonna kind of give some rankings. You know what I mean? You'll
Uh
probably
huh.
hear my rankings as well, but it's mostly you're gonna power rank each offensive position, and then I'm gonna pick it apart maybe.
Yeah, and this is where it's going to get interesting because I basically ranked 1 to 32 for each of the position groups, right? And so, do you want to start quarterback or end quarterback? So I could go interior and then work our way backwards to quarterback, or we can go quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, OT,
Um,
IOL. What are you thinking?
Maybe we should people. Well, let's make people hang around.
We're gonna timestamp it
Yeah,
anyways, but still, I'm good with that. We can
yeah.
start. We can start. Well, look, I think starting with the interior of the offensive line is probably a good spot, anyways, because it is probably one of the harder positions to really sit
It
back
is
and
hard.
say because you don't see stats. No one's tracking there's no definable number. It's not like number of blocks, right? It's something that you do. That's where you get a little closer with the analytics. And so you can see kind of where they're at with some of those numbers, and that's as close as you can get. Now, I do want to preface all of this with both this show and the next show. We're doing roughly 3 year windows, right? So there might be a team
Oh
that
yeah, good
seems like
call.
they're in great shape for this coming season, the 26-27 season, and they're going to have to replace at least one or two guys by the time they get to 3 years out. Or you might think a team is super poorly positioned to an extent, but they've got three really young guys that could be better. So that's where it gets to be fun. It should come as no
You know.
surprise to anyone.
Oh God.
No, you're good. I was going to
All
start.
I
So
was all I was gonna say was, you know what obviously, I'm just doing this because I want the raw emotion, and
Right,
like
sure.
picking yours apart. The only thing I'll admit up front that I won't know off the top of my head
Hmm.
are contracts.
Sure. Yeah, and we're
So
gonna
yeah, if I'm way off base
you
with
get
something, like I
into
don't know how long, like because we're doing a 3-year window. I don't know if they're
mhm.
on, they got 2 years or what. Like
Right,
I don't
and
know
we're gonna look. You could go off into the weeds on, well, they're not keeping this guy because of this salary cap implication over there. But one of the things we've
and we
learned
don't know.
over the well, one, we don't know. We don't have it all spreadsheeted out. But one of the things we've learned over the last couple of years is just like the LA Rams say "f those picks." It seems like most GMs say "f those contracts," and they find a way to make money appear. Right? I mean, like
Yep.
it's hilarious the cap gymnastics. We
I
were talking about that
wish
with Pat
I
Mahomes
wish
and
my
his deal.
bank account could do what
Right?
NFL salary caps do.
I wouldn't mind if my bank account just had one of those contracts in it too, though. So I mean, hey,
Nah, that's
but
fair.
yeah,
That's fair.
well, again, there's all kinds of interesting ways that they go about maneuvering things around. So we're not going to let that factor in too much. But it should come as no surprise as we start talking about the interior of the offensive line that 32, it's the Houston Texans. I have been
Whoa.
saying this forever and a day, man. They don't have a good offensive line, and they may not quite be as bad as that in
You
your
really
mind.
think they're still the worst?
Well, here's the thing. They've got Wyatt Teller, who's old and is going to be
Mhm.
out, Keelan Rutledge, who's never played center and might be great, and Ed Ingram, who shouldn't be starting. So
Ed
why
Ingram graded out okay. He's in the 70s, I thought.
that might have been his only good season because Ed
Man,
Ingram
I
has
like
historically.
Rose. See, I
Well,
man, I'm not.
Rutledge sounds like fun,
I can't do this with everyone because we got to go through a lot of positions. So I got to
right?
just give my like gut reactions.
Sure.
I'll try to give one gut reaction to each team, and it'll be easier to like say my rankings ish with some of the other positions. But here was my thought.
Hmm.
I I, I feel like Green Bay's the worst.
Well, they're 31.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
See,
so
I'm
I do
not
agree
saying I
with
think
you there,
Houston's way up top.
right?
But like I when I think about this and how the interior line, because I thought Rutledge helped them out a lot by improving their
Hmm.
center. Like that's going to be
Well,
huge,
yeah, but
right?
you're also speculating that he's going to help them out a lot because he hasn't done anything in the NFL, nor has he played center in the NFL.
Correct. But you kind of have to do that with a rookie.
No, you don't have to. I don't think you have to. I think if you, this is where we can
Well,
disagree because you
well, no,
think
no,
he's
no, no,
going to
no,
be a
no,
plug
no.
and play guy who's going to help him immensely.
I
I
got a
am still. I'll make that decision next year.
I got a 27-year-old guy who graded out at a cool 60 even at center right now. Rutledge is at least going to be a young guy who can at least do that.
You hope. We don't always see guys do that great coming off the bat, man.
Maybe it's because I was high on Rutledge, but okay. Either way,
Wow.
if you got, because I agree, I would have Green Bay at 32, but I'm fine with that at 31 in Houston. Okay, who do you
Mhm.
got? Do we need to
So
go into Green Bay? We're not going to name
no,
every
we
player
don't.
at each
Look,
position.
Green Bay's they've got some question marks. They have a just a unsettled offensive line. It's kind of where they're at. Should be no surprise to anybody else. Miami's sitting at 30. What might surprise some people is I've got Minnesota at 29 because again, I feel like they're a team that hasn't done a ton
Miami
to
is
help
very
themselves out on the interior over the last couple of seasons. And again, we were talking about right before we started, dude. There's a good handful of teams that I'm not going to fight you if you sit back and say they should be 10 spots higher. Because I do like Donovan Jackson, but Will
Yeah, I was
Fries,
going to say,
I'm
I
documented as not liking Will Fries that much, and Michael Jurgens is kind of a question mark for me at center.
is that who they have at center right now? It's not Brandel anymore.
That's what they say on the site that I'm looking at.
Oh, gotcha. Well, all I would say with that is I would probably have Minnesota, 5 or 6 spots higher than that because I
Mhm.
agree with you. I like Donovan Jackson, but it can't be much higher. Can't
Right.
be much higher.
Well, New
And
Orleans
you
is
said
next.
Miami? Yeah,
Miami, yeah, Miami. We know
Miami's
Miami's.
rough.
Spoiler alert: Miami does not appear too highly in any of these rankings. We'll get to that a little later, but yeah, I've got New Orleans at 28, the Chargers are 27, Cleveland's 26, Arizona's 25, San Francisco's 24.
Oh,
I
hold on. Do
wouldn't
these two at a
disagree if
time
you
and let
wanted
me
to
think.
shift. If you wanted to shift Minnesota ahead of any of those teams, I wouldn't fight you that hard on it because this is the group of teams where I feel like at most they have one good player or they have a couple of maybe interesting pieces that I still don't feel great about.
Man, I'm so salty about the Chargers being that low because I like Tyler Biadasz so much, but
I
it's
do
hard to.
too, but
Penny
again,
just hasn't panned out.
no,
And are they still? Is Cole Strange still the
at
guy?
the moment.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
the
not
other
sad
reason.
about it anymore. I'm super on board with it. All right,
Right.
give me. You did too many there for me to get takes
Cleveland to
on.
Arizona, San Francisco, and New Orleans.
Cleveland. Yeah, I'm just salty because I really like Zion Johnson. I know that they got Elton Jenkins in there now, right? And
Yeah,
he didn't play that well.
no, and
Tevin
Zion
Jenkins will play
Johnson's
well.
been under. Zion Johnson has been overall kind of at or below average for his career.
I might, man. Dare I push back on Arizona a little? So you because I bet because Ciamalo, however you say his name, you did it because he's older, right? Because
He's
he's
old,
pretty
he's
damn good.
older,
Okay,
and
I'm
you're
fine with that.
banking on Besantis being good as a rookie, with Elijah Wilkinson not really giving him a whole lot of cover there on the
But
outside.
we
So
both like Besantis, but I
we
get
do.
it. Ciamalo is a little older. So then New Orleans, yeah, I'm fine with that. Who was the other one? Who did I miss? I got
San
Arizona, New
Francisco, I got
Orleans.
a 24.
Sanford, I can't. I really like Pooney a lot because he was a guy that was supposed to be a tackle that they kicked inside and played
Hmm.
very well. So I like that. I really like Brendel a lot. Connor Colby, if he's still left, guards a hole. But yeah, is San Francisco the highest team you've said so far?
Yeah, so
Was it the
far.
last one? Okay, because I dedefinitely like San Fran's interior line better than anyone else we've discussed so far. So
Fair.
okay, this isn't fun.
Well, now we're up to Washington at 23.
Yeah, give
Got-
them to me in three
I'll get
packs.
3 packs. Okay, Washington 23, Baltimore's 22, and then Tennessee's 21.
Okay, I'm gonna start with. Whew, I might have some hot takes finally.
Hey, there you go.
So Baltimore and Washington, I would have had in my bottom 6 pack probably.
Okay. Yeah, again,
I
I'm
would
not
move.
fighting you
I'd
that
move
hard on
about
that.
4 or 5 up above them, dude. I
Mhm.
don't. I just.
I don't feel
I
great
guess
about either of those.
Washington, Paul and Gretty and Cosme. Okay, he's solid, but he's also coming off the injury. Their ages aren't bad. Baltimore, it's
You're
especially
banking
after
on one guy right now as a rookie.
losing. Yeah, and
Mhm.
the other two guys, because Simpson and Voorhees did not play well.
No.
And then you take Linderbaum out, so Baltimore would be a lot lower. They would definitely be in my bottom 6. But Tennessee, I got to push back on. Why do you have Tennessee so low? Like I felt like they'd be in my top 12 or so.
Okay. Well, I mean, you can sit back and say that, but when I looked at Tennessee and when I tried to decide that Skoronski is the only one that I feel good about there because Schlotman is a
Schlockman's,
journeyman.
yeah, he's a
He's a
journeyman, but
journeyman at best.
maybe you could make the argument he had his best season in a while,
Look,
but he graded out the
if Pat
70s too.
Coogan starts, I'm in.
Pat Coogan
Then
would
I'll move
start,
him
but
up. Cordell
but
Volson's
either
a
way,
backup too.
Volson's the
So
one that needs to be kicked
basically,
out,
for me, they have Skoronski and question marks, and so that's kind of why I had them at 21 as opposed to higher. And
I
that's
would
mostly because
still
I really
have.
like Skoronski.
I would definitely have them as the highest team so far. Them and San Fran.
All right, not too fussed on that so far. Okay, I got Jacksonville at 20.
That's why it's not fun.
Yeah, well, it's okay. It's gonna be not fun for you in a second here too, because Jacksonville's 20, Cincinnati's 19, Detroit's at 18.
Okay, so let's start with Cincinnati, man. Cincinnati is one that in my heart, I disagree on because
Dude,
I
I moved him around a
wholeheartedly think
lot.
I think Dylan Fairchild's awesome. He's going to get better. Karras, I think he's better than what he grades out, but he is 33 in this season. And I like Reisner a lot better than what he played, even though he graded out just by 69 too. He's only 31. So I actually like Fairchild, Karras, and Reisner. Fairchild's still learning. Karras is older, so I can't push back too hard, but I like the potential of this line, interior O-line.
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
potential's lovely.
I can't get mad about Jacksonville. I think I probably would have had Jacksonville probably lower. What number are you on?
Had him at 19, had him at 20.
Yeah, they definitely would have been in my bottom 12. Yeah, so we're probably pretty even on Jacksonville. Detroit, totally get it. Because Cade Mays, new team. Good, not great. Mahogany can't stay on the damn field. Ratledge is a beast. It's hard. Again, this is Detroit and Cincinnati are kind of one and the same. I like the potential of this interior O-line a lot, but I can't defend it yet.
Sure. Yeah. And I agree with that too, because again, Detroit still feels slightly unsettled at one guard position. They got a new center. and they got a guy that you love in the dirt bag, but the analytics didn't love him quite as much
He still was
on
at
one half.
70.
Well, one half was a 70. I think it's I want either his run or his pass was up there, and the other one was about 20 to 30 points lower. So
Yeah, but the average, his overall blocking grade period was
but
70.3.
again, Detroit is probably right around the midpoint, right?
Yeah,
When you
which is
want to look at
basically where
that.
you're at.
Right,
Hmm.
which is not terrible, especially considering the question marks from last year for them.
But if Mahogany stays healthy, because when the end of the first year that he
Oh, this
played,
is
like
look,
he was playing great.
they could move up. There are several
Yes.
teams on this list that could move up, and that's the fun part about judging the stuff now. Again, we're sitting here in June, so we're banking off who we believe are going to be the starters, and also no one's gotten hurt, etc. So some of these teams are going to get better, and some of this we're trying to bake in because again, hypothetically, going forward for the next 3 years, Detroit could have a great guard in Ratledge. They could have a solid center, and if they figure out their other guard spot, they move up 10 spots.
Yep.
But we don't know that yet, and that's part of the fun. 17, I've got the New York Football Giants. Carolina's at 16, and right now I've got the Seattle Seahawks at 15. And Seahawks are there because they have one very unsettled spot. However, if your boy Bo Stevens steps up, they jump up 10 spots too.
Giants, Seattle, and who?
Giants, Seattle, Carolina, Seattle. So 17, 16, 15. Giants, Carolina,
All right.
Seattle.
I got to clean up my takes a little bit, or we're going to have a 2-hour show. I'll just say this. Giants, I'm completely on board with you. I like John Michael Schmitz a lot, but he still is developing as well. So I can't fight it too hard. Seattle was the one that I would argue I would have probably a lot lower in my bottom 12 for sure. I love Gray Zabel.
Okay.
I do not like the rest of their interior line at all. Like at all. So I would have definitely had them probably
Sure.
at my bottom like 8 or so.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to fight you too hard on that either. I'm probably a little more optimistic, obviously, but I'm not going to. Like I told you, 5 spots, 10 spots for some of these teams the other way, especially the offensive line, because you're trying to get 3 guys into the group. There's a lot of variance here.
Carolina, though, I mean, I would have probably had them a little higher, but not much. So I can't push back too hard. Because here's the thing: they have like
they
one
started
of those
out higher,
sneaky over performing.
Yeah.
Like Damian Lewis graded out at damn near an 80, and he's only 29. Fortner, needs some.
They
work
are the
bit,
nothing
still
special
mid 60s. Yeah, Robert Hunt, low 60s. Like it's a nothing special, but that's not the reason you're losing, I don't think. But it's definitely not the reason you're winning. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, it's a weird one with them.
And that's also a team that's breaking in a new starting center. So anytime you're bringing in that variance, that kind of factors in as well for me. 14 is Atlanta, and then Vegas is 13, Buffalo is 12.
Atlanta, Vegas, Buffalo. All right, let's start with Buffalo. Buffalo, I'm going to go ahead and have to ask you how to explain that one, because they would have been like, I guess it's still not far off. They wouldn't have, the highest they would have been 16 for me. Like they're middle of the road, like 16, 17 for me. And you got them at 12, you said?
Yep.
Like I look at Buffalo's line. Maybe I'm salty because Osiris Torrance still is just not doing what he's supposed to do. I look at it and it's like Connor McGovern is a solid center, and beyond that, I guess Anderson's not awful. Yeah,
dude, and that's kind of what happened to me with Buffalo. Was I was ready to knock him down further because Osiris Torrance. I'm still salty about him not being the guy we thought he was, but the other two are solid. And so when you have 2 solid guys and one who's average, you can kind of, move that number a little bit.
So Buffalo, and who are the other 2? Atlanta and who?
Buffalo, Atlanta, and I changed my page. And Vegas, which I was a bit surprised to have Vegas up that high. I just figured I'd have Vegas at the bottom anyways, but
I literally have Buffalo and Vegas stacked side by side with the ratings, but I do have Vegas one spot probably in my mind above, because Tyler Linderbaum, Jackson Powers Johnson, yes, Burford's needs to be replaced, but
no, it's why I got Trace
Vegas would be true. Vegas would be my highest ranked one that you've mentioned so far, probably by a long shot, because if you're talking about 2 out of 3, pick any two of any of the three from any team we talked about. The tandem of Linderbaum and Powers Johnson is better than anything we've talked about in my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah.
Potential, love it. So, if anything, I would have had the Raiders higher than this.
Well,
I'm
right.
also
And
projecting a bit.
right. And part of that
So,
projection is you're hoping that Van Prank Ranger still continues to play the way you expect him to play or Powers Johnson, sorry,
wait, are you? Yeah,
continues
okay.
to play the
I
way
was
that
like, what are you
he,
looking
yeah,
at?
right,
What am I
wrong team.
missing?
Hyphen names. All hyphen names mixed up. But
All
yeah,
right.
Powers Johnson, you're expecting him to continue to elevate his game, moving from center over to guard. All
Okay,
right.
now I got to give my hottest take so far.
Okay.
And it's not necessarily my take.
You
I'm
paused for
kind of,
effect.
I know, I'm kind of on board with it, but not
Uh-oh.
fully on board. I'm not going to say by any means, because I would even have the Raiders above the Falcons on mine.
Okay.
But I'm looking at some of my older notes here, that some of our previous shows,
Mm-hmm.
and I quickly did a little formula thing here, as I do from time to time.
Right.
If you just go by the way they grade out, Atlanta's interior line is the best in the NFL
Sure.
last season. So, with that being said, Matthew Bergeron, I love the fact that, man, another guy that was a tackle, I'm like, there's no shot he's playing. I'm feeling really good about my predictions of tackles having to be kicked inside, sir.
Right.
And I like Chris Lindstrom a lot.
It took him a year, but he's
awesome.
on go.
He's awesome. But, dude, Bergeron graded out as 70.8. Newsill graded at a 77.4, and Lindstrom graded as an 88.4. That's 236.6. There's one other team at a 236.4, so they barely graded out the top team, but they did. And this is also assuming the depth charts haven't changed, because I'm not looking at depth charts. I like to do this off the top of my head and notes that I have. You know what I mean? But in theory, they're the best. So
I will
where'd you have
concede
them?
that
What
they
number?
should be. I had them at 14. They should definitely be higher than that. I'm not sure if I
Okay.
just lost them in the shuffle, or I'm still not sure. I'm still worried that Bergeron's going to, I don't know, regress somehow. But yeah, I'll
Like,
allow
I
that they
think
need to be moved up.
Atlanta and the Raiders both probably would have been in my top 10.
Okay. Well, let's get to the top 10. At 11, I've got Tampa. And then 10 are the Jets. And 9 is where I've got New England. So go ahead.
Tampa's one of those ones that I probably would have. Oh, man. Here's the thing. I don't know why. I like Tampa's. I like Cody Mock. I like Barton. I even like Bredesen. I like their O-line a ton. It might.
They don't
test.
they don't have the analytics. Yeah. The analytics are not their
nothing
friends.
to back it.
Right.
I have
but I
no
agree
reason
with
to
you.
back it other than I like it. I like the eye test. I like what they do. And I just.
I like all
got
three
eye
players
test.
there.
I
Yeah.
do too. But they grade out. Let's see where they're at. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're 7th from the bottom. So whatever that is, 25, 26.
20, yeah, 25.
They're 25th if I go my little formula grade out. They're
Right.
down there.
And yet somehow I have them at 11 because for some reason I just think they're
And
going to be better. So I don't know.
I don't think I would have them at 11, but I would have had them in my top 16 just because I can.
Gotcha.
I like them. All right, what are the other ones? Sorry.
Jets
New England,
and Patriots. Yeah, Jets and Patriots.
Oh, you would hit me with Jets and Patriots.
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about one. You got to talk about the other one.
Okay.
I'll talk about New
The
England.
Patriots, I know.
Patriots, is that the highest one you've said yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I got
good,
them
'cause
sitting at 9.
I love Elijah Vera Tucker.
I love when he's on the field.
I love Michael Onwenu. And
Sure.
I love the potential of the struggling Jared Wilson as a rookie season. I would definitely have them up there with the Raiders and, the Atlanta and whatnot.
Tucker's injury history and Wilson still needing to prove himself are the reasons why I don't have him up higher. Otherwise, they'd probably be top 6.
I'm not trying to project injuries on this. I'm trying to project potential and health.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd have New England and the Raiders a lot higher. But the Jets, you're going to have to explain to me on this, because not only are they only 2 spots above Tampa, so they're 9th from the bottom of my little formula here, but I also don't like Parham or Myers at all. I just love Joe Tippmann, and he's not living up to his potential, even though he just got paid, I think.
He did just get paid, yeah. I think Tippmann's a big reason for why I have that there. I do expect him to continue to get better. Yeah,
Like they would be in my
would be
bottom
fine
12.
with that. I think Dylan Parham, I just I feel like he's a better player than the analytics have said for him. And I do agree with you that Myers is not the
Mm,
guy.
nope.
He is the weak link on that line because I remember Parham had a good year with the Raiders 2 years ago, and then was kind of regressed a bit last year with the Jets. So if you take him from his Raiders numbers, he's a solid player. If you take him from his Jets numbers, he's slightly above average. So yeah, I can understand that being a team that you might want to be fussy with. I
They got
promise
to
I
go
will
down.
push back on some other rankings, but I don't have as much of a stake in the interior offensive line because it's such a nebulous concept. 8 is Chicago, 7's Indianapolis, 6 is Kansas City.
I have no complaints with any of that. I'm not saying that only because we're 25 minutes in and I'm still on our first position.
Right.
I literally have them all in my top 12.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And again,
I
strengths for those teams because they've all got at least one standout and some other good pieces around them.
yeah, and you talk about Kansas City. I love Kingsley. I love the potential of
Yep.
him a lot.
He's the
And
weakest link in that group right now, and he's still a
in,
young guy getting better.
Indianapolis now has my favorite two-man tandem in Quentin Nelson and Tanner Bortolini. So
Right.
they're my number one so far.
Okay. And obviously Chicago had paid for their interior the offensive line, so they're doing just fine.
Yeah, if you want me to touch on that, I mean, I like Tooney's 34
Mhm.
though.
Yeah,
The only
he's
thing
and
I
that's the
I'd push
question for
back
him.
is Chicago's 34, 31, and 29. So while I
They
like
are
their
older.
interior line,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah, that
pushing
they
it a
they
little
do
bit.
have they're a team that could easily go down depending on things fly.
Yes, that's
Fifth,
what I would do.
okay, I go fifth, fourth, third, and then we'll do 1 and 2 after that. So fifth is
Mhm.
Pittsburgh, fourth is Philly, and third is Denver.
Wow, and I would have them in that same order, not maybe necessarily that high.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, I like Frazier a ton. I'm
Right.
really happy with McCormick too. Spencer Anderson's a little rough. Assuming he's still there. Again, reminder, I don't have the depth charts in front
Yeah,
of
I
me.
thought I was gonna
But
have Pittsburgh lower, but
but
they just kept creeping up.
I think you got Pittsburgh right about spot on ish. There's a couple teams I would still have above Pittsburgh. Like I would
Sure.
100% have Indianapolis above Pittsburgh.
All
Like
right.
I have Pittsburgh comparable to the Raiders because I love Linderbaum and Powers Johnson. So that's just saying,
Sure.
but definitely I would say above that. You said Pittsburgh. Who else?
Philly is in there as well,
Philly. So the
and Denver.
Philly, I really like Landon Dickerson a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
think he actually played better than his analytics, and I think I
Right.
like Tyler Steen. I think he probably
Mm-hmm.
played at best maybe a little worse than his analytics. Maybe they had their grades flipped. Maybe
Could
that's
be.
what happened. Cam Jurgens, again, I think
Solid.
he plays better than his analytics
Yeah.
too. So
He's
I
not
can't put,
Kelsey, but he's still
he
solid.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't grade out close to top 5 or this interior line, but they're top 12 for sure.
Sure.
And then Denver, dude, I think from day one, I loved Quinn Miners.
Right.
And then I saw the man tackle a tree.
Right.
And absolutely loved it. I love Wattenberg a ton. And Ben Powers Johnson, I don't care what the analytics says. He's definitely better than that. So I
Mhm.
would have Denver probably in my top 6 too.
Mm-hmm. All right,
All right,
top 2.
Who you got?
Rams are at 2 and Dallas is at 1. Much as I hate putting Dallas at the top of anything.
Ah, man. I have a hard time pushing back on either one of those. Rams were the other team that graded out at the 236, only a point
There you go.
lower than the Falcons, and I 100% would have the Rams above them. I love Avila and I love Dotson. The only question is Dotson actually still there?
Thought he was.
Yeah, he is. He is. No, yep, you're right. He is. And Shelton just keeps playing better, and I think he is. I can't push back against it. So
yeah, I didn't expect to have them as high when I started this, but then I looked at the numbers, and yeah, they're good. There's a reason why they're contending for a
Dotson
title.
and Avila are so good.
Mhm.
And then Dallas, if you project
A little bit of
Dallas
his
is not-
projection.
okay,
I love
if you
Cooper
project
Beebe,
Dallas
obviously.
is 1, we both love Cooper Beebe. Tyler Booker was infinitely better than even what I had thought.
yeah.
Tyler Smith's
Mhm.
been very solid the whole time and
Yep.
has some flexibility. Yeah, I'd have a hard time. Yeah, they're a top 6. Both are top 6. So
All right, for
Those
anybody who says that we spend way too much time not talking about big players and only focus on skill position or anything like that, like we're giving you tons of fat man time right here. We're gonna rip through the tackles and see if we can build a fat
we gotta
this time
we gotta
around
rip it.
because you, sir, talk too
I
much.
like the O-line. I like the O-line.
Right.
Give them
So the
to
funny
me.
thing is,
Give them to me in 6-packs, and I won't talk about every team. I'll just pick out ones that
okay.
stand out, outliers.
Well, I've already got something funny because I clearly misdid this because I have Atlanta on here twice,
That's
which should
fine.
not
Just
come
say
as any surprise.
you probably should have had Cleveland on here twice because theirs is atrocious. Are they 32?
Well, they are 32,
Okay, called
and
that.
it goes from there, right? So it's actually I've
You
got
know what's funny?
Cleveland.
Wait, was Dallas number 1 for interior?
Yeah,
Are they 31 for you?
no, they're not that bad at tackle, but they're
I
not
do not
good,
like their tackles at all. Those are my
right?
bottom two is Dallas and Cleveland off the top of my head by far.
Well,
And probably Houston maybe, but Houston I'd have above them because I like Ursery.
yeah, Dallas is actually at 30. So I've
Okay.
got Cleveland, Miami, Dallas for
Okay.
those three, and then we'll also throw Kansas City, Houston, and Green Bay in there for your 6-pack.
Okay. So here's the only one I'd push back on, which is painful for me. I agree with all of them except for sadly I think I would have Green Bay higher, even though I don't like Jordan Morgan at all
Really?
because he's a guard, but I
Right.
like Zach Tom a lot.
And I also, as much as we don't project injuries, he's missed time.
I
And
know,
that's the concern that I would have looking at those guys going forward is that they have all the potential in the world to be better than they have been. But you know what I mean? Like there's that question that if you're trying to split hairs here, you got to split them somewhere, right? And so that's one of the spots where I suppose I would split it. Anything
Next
else on
six.
the back end we can agree. Not great, right?
Oh
The next
yeah,
group
I'm
for
spot
me.
on with all those.
Next group for me is Vegas, Tennessee, the Giants, New England, Atlanta,
Tennessee's
and Pittsburgh.
definitely down
Sorry.
there. More and Latham, and Latham's gonna. This could move up for sure.
Yeah, but not because of more.
Tennessee, man, Vegas, Colton Miller. I love Colton Miller. He might be the
I
favorite
do
tackle
like
I've talked
Colton
about so
Miller,
far. And
but
DJ Glaze has been better than I had thought. I thought he had
right.
to maybe kick inside, but
I don't.
I'd have the Raiders higher. Who are the other four?
I might have the Raiders a little bit low, but again, I guess I'm depressing them as opposed to pumping them up. Tennessee, Giants, New England, Atlanta, Pittsburgh.
Tennessee, or wait, yeah, I have Tennessee way down there. I talked about that. Giants, you're gonna have to explain yourself a little bit because unless you're doing the
Illuminor.
injuries, because yeah,
That's all I should
but
have to say to you.
Andrew Thomas is the best tackle.
Thomas is great, and the other guy shouldn't be playing. So what are we
Totally
doing
agree,
here?
but I love Andrew Thomas. All right,
If they can put
yeah.
J.C. Davis in at the other tackle by halfway through the season, or Marcus and Bo decides to step back outside again, both of them have got to be at least as bad as Illuminor. Then I'd pump them up a bit.
I can't argue against that. The only thing I'd say about Pittsburgh is I can't defend it because, I mean, they're down there in the bottom 6 based on the analytics, but
Right.
and they deserve to be. But I still believe in both Jones and Fautano.
This is a team. Well, and
they
not to
could
mention,
skyrocket.
they could go either direction for me because on one hand,
well, they can't go much lower.
Yeah, well, on one hand,
least
I have
on
a little bit
mine.
higher than you do. But so right now, if you look at the site that I'm on, Fantasy Points, because again, like I always joke about, our lads refuses to load for me on my computer. They've got Ianakor at right tackle and Fautano at left with Jones as a backup because we're still having the question mark about whether or not he's going to be healthy. So if that's their starting lineup, you got a rookie and a left tackle that's you're not sure what left tackle. That's why I've got them a little lower. But they could easily jump.
I like Ian
dozen
too.
spots.
So this one could jump up a lot.
Tons of potential, but
which means their interior line could jump up a lot too if Fautano kicks inside. Like, what if they move Brojo to the Rojo and then put
I see what you did there.
Yeah. And then you get Fautano in over Anderson, and bam, they're all line. I bet you that happens, dude.
Yeah, that would be an interesting shuffle. And they are one of those teams that definitely has a lot of latitude for where they end up.
I forgot the rest of them. I don't know if there was anything else.
Atlanta, New England. Obviously, New England we've talked about ad nauseum.
Atlanta I have down there.
Yeah,
New
we don't
England,
think Campbell's a tackle. So
Moses is very, very solid, but
and getting up there.
And Campbell,
we've talked about So that's why I have him down there. I could be persuaded to move him up higher, and maybe they will this year if Campbell.
Not when he's 35 and Campbell.
Exactly. They have to replace
way higher.
Put it this way, they have to replace one tackle, and we think they should replace both. So that's not a good sign going forward. At 20,
Nope.
Indianapolis, then San Francisco. Jacksonville's at 18, Arizona 17, Buffalo 16, Cincinnati's at 15.
Cincinnati makes sense. No comment there. Buffalo.
I like both their guys, but they're good up there.
I got middle of the road. I'm good with that. We're gonna have to come back to who are the other ones?
San Francisco, Jacksonville, Arizona, Indianapolis.
So we're gonna have to come back to Indy and San Francisco. Jacksonville, I'd have a little higher, but I get it. But Van Lanen, man, he graded out at almost an 8.79. Harrison,
he did, and I
3.
guess I'm still with Van Lanen. I guess I'm still just a little bit skeptical, and it's probably a me thing more than everybody else in the NFL thing.
Yeah,
So.
I'm a little skeptical too. That's why I'm on board with that. But the two I want you to explain a little bit here are. We'll start with the lesser crazy one to me because Indianapolis. I mean, you got Ryman at an 82. Fire up, chips.
Oh, of course,
dude.
love that. Love that.
He graded out at an 82, and then Jalen Travis, who kind of like you're just said, I'm a little skeptical about the 72-2 on him too, but they graded out really well.
Yeah, and it's because of Travis and not being 100% sold on him is the reason why they're where they're at. But he could definitely, like, this is a team that, again, and they got Blake Freeland as their swing tackle, they could definitely move up.
And now you just got to explain to me your rationale on San Fran, because they grade out by quite a large margin.
Do you actually
think
the
number one pair? Trent
Williams is going to play? Right.
He doesn't age.
Look, the irony behind this is...
Let me explain this. What I would take Trent Williams for one more year over a lot of these other tackles for 3 years. Just give me another year him. And then you got McKivitz, who graded out an 84.
McKivitz is good. No, I'm not arguing McKivitz.
Tackles, 91 and 84?
Look, Trent Williams, until we scientifically prove that he's bionic, they got my boy Enrique Cruz.
See, you got
so that's the irony behind this, because I like him and you don't. That's why it's funny. But if Trent Williams actually is proven to be bionic, then I'm on board.
What if he can just play 2 more years?
He's not.
Even if
I think this is his last year. This is probably his last year. Unless something crazy happens, he might get another one out of him, but he's not doing 3. So my point is they're going to have to replace their left tackle, and they have McKivitz. So that's why they're kind of sitting in the middle.
San Francisco, by default, it's just number 6 for me because they have to be in the top 6 because they're so damn good.
Yeah, and again, we can agree to disagree on that one. I would love to have them higher, but the way that things are
who's the other one?
I can't do it. Arizona. And I have Arizona in the middle because they have Paris Johnson, who's trending well.
Yeah.
Let's say they got Paris Johnson, who's trending well, and nothing else to talk about in the other.
Nothing.
Half. So
exactly. Yeah, that's spot on for them.
Right.
All right.
14. Washington's at 14, Denver's 13, Chicago 12, Baltimore 11, Carolina 10, Philly's at 9.
So there's only 2 you really got to explain to me.
Okay.
And I could probably do it. But Philly, is this an age thing and Denver's an age thing because of Bulls and Lane Johnson? Because
Denver is only down there because of the age, and the same thing with Philly. They're both lower than they would be because of the age.
Because they've got 4 between both teams, 4 awesome tackles.
Yes, agreed. And there's no way all 4 of them are still playing in 3 years.
Man, Bowles came in a little older, so maybe he can play a little longer. McGlinchey's only 32. I'd probably still, I still think I have both those teams higher than you do because I think Lane Johnson can easily play 1 year, maybe 2 more years.
Sure, and they're still going to replace him in a 3-year window. They're still going to replace him. Now, the reason why I had Philly up there, though,
but you got 2-year window of like
you're hoping. We've been talking about Lane Johnson like retiring for about 5 seasons now.
Yeah, so him and Trent Williams don't age, dude.
Look, the reason why I'm okay with that is we both like Markel Bell as a tackle prospect to develop. So if he gets to sit and learn behind Lane Johnson for a year or 2, yeah, Philly might move up the list again because they don't necessarily have a drop off if that goes the way they want it to. But I'm still trying to bake in some of that stuff when I'm planning all this out. But yes, Philly and Denver both have 2 incredibly good sets of tackles that I just don't think are going to stay the whole time. That's where that comes in at. Carolina, dude, they're the wild card for me that could go down 10 spots maybe.
I don't know. I think you got them in the right spot. I like Icky and Moten.
Well, but Icky's had the injury questions. Moten's been
He's
good,
still
and
only
then Monroe Freeling.
26, man.
Right, but I was gonna say, but then Monroe Freeling is right behind him.
And I like Monroe.
Carolina can go up 5 spots or down 10, and neither thing would surprise me over the next 3 years.
I would bet they go up. But all
Well,
right.
yeah, they're definitely positioning themselves for that. All right, I'm going to
What
do
else we
like
got?
4 packs here because we got 8 more
Yep.
teams. So Tampa, the Rams, Seattle, and Minnesota are the next 4. So 8, 7, 6, 5.
Tampa, Rams, Seattle, Minnesota. Wow. Tampa, Rams, and Seattle, you said?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on board with all of that. That's probably right where I would have them. The only thing I would say is I feel like you're not being fair to what you did all the time. You're projecting a little bit with Darisaw, are you? Maybe to him improving again, and
Yeah, I think so.
O'Neal to stay as good as he was. I would think I would have Minnesota lower than you. They're like 16.
I'm okay
20.
with that. Well, I wouldn't put them that low, but I could see putting them in the back end of this grouping. I could see putting them right around 10 as opposed to 5. But you got to remember, if you actually looked at the board as it evolved for me, like there were clusters, and then I had to move a bunch of teams up and down here and there. So Minnesota, I don't feel like is the 5th best line. That's just where it ended up for me. So,
I'd have
4,
middle
though,
of the road like
or
16.
tackles. Okay, top 4, and I think we're going to agree on these 4, even if we're not necessarily going to agree on the order.
I know who my one and
I got
one is.
The Jets at 4. I have the Lions at 3. I know they have a rookie, but they have New Orleans at 2, and the Chargers are at 1, and I'm banking on those boys staying healthy.
Yeah, I'd put the Chargers at 1 for sure. I would probably put the Jets at 2.
I'm okay with that.
With projection. And then you had
but
the
I like
Lions
New Orleans. Yeah, New Orleans is at 2.
3, and who is the other one?
New Orleans, they're at 2. Because they have 2 young, very good tackles.
Yeah, that's like the same thing projecting. I would probably put New Orleans at oh, man. You know what? I'm going to say, damn. Either way, I have the Chargers. We have the same top 4. I have the Chargers at 1.
Yeah, we both agree on that. That's there's a drop
right now. Right now, I'm just
that.
having a tough time because I really liked Blake Miller, and I think Penei Sewell is arguably the best tackle in
at least as far as staying healthy. Yeah.
So I would probably take Penei Sewell over every tackle in the league, just saying, especially for a 3-year window. So it's hard.
Sure.
I might go Chargers, Detroit, Jets, New Orleans.
Yeah, but we agree. Those are the 4 that I feel like there's not questions for the most part, even though one's the rookie. The only questions are injury and young when it comes to that. But I feel like those teams are in the best shape. Tight ends, I think we'll fly through this a little faster. There's not as many guys to talk about as we go through this.
Yeah. We're at 42 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry,
shocker.
Y'all. I wanted to talk about the trenches.
Look, I told everybody, man, it's time stamped. Jump to the next one if you don't care about the positions as we're going through them. Shocker, by the way, Miami is 32 when it comes to tight ends. I'm just going to start with that. And then I've got Carolina, Washington, Denver, Tennessee, Denver, New Orleans.
Carolina, that's a little harsh, isn't it?
Well, it's the if you want to hook up to the potential, then sure. Sanders could be something crazy. Sanders could be amazing, and he just hasn't been yet. Carolina, Washington, Tennessee, Denver, New Orleans.
I would.
Denver has the potential to move up.
I was going to push back on Denver. That's it.
Denver is all
higher.
potential.
I don't know how much higher, but
right for me, because again, for me, Troutman and Ingram could be good, but he's old. Right?
I like
Troutman has never been great. That's why Justin Jolly could move them way up. But yeah,
I'd have that.
I like Ingram, but Ingram's old.
Carry on.
Jacksonville at 26. The Giants are 25. New England's 24. Whoa. Seattle's 23. Minnesota's 22. Okay, what do you?
Super messed up. I really like 2 tight ends on the Giants. You got to skyrocket them, dude. Theo Johnson and Isaiah Likely.
Likely is going to a new team.
I might have them in my top 10.
Okay, so Likely's going to a new team, and he's never actually been the lead guy.
Coach too.
Yeah, never been a lead
That's because
guy.
he played with Mark Andrews, who's a Hall of Famer.
Never been a lead guy. So you're banking on
Dude,
him
he's not
making
going
a
to be a
leap.
lead guy still. He's going to be a co-guy, even though he got paid as a lead guy.
Right. Theo, yes,
I'm
he's had
pouring. You made me
45 catches
upset. You know
last year.
what?
You
Because
pouring
you're
some more?
disrespecting this. Yeah, you're disrespecting the Giants tight end room, and I think it's one of the
I
better
will
ones.
say Theo has potential, but so far he hasn't. He had 45 catches last year, which is nice. But that's his
They're in
shining
the
light
top
so far.
half. They're in the top half of the league. Carry on. You're wrong.
They could be. They could be, but they're not right now. They are not right now. New England, I feel like that they're there because they're kind of in a weird transition phase. That's
It's
why I've
just
got
the
them down that
older
way.
Hunter Henry. I can't
Right.
argue it.
Seattle, they could move up a bunch if Arroyo
Mm-hmm.
pops, but otherwise not that impressed with
Yep.
them. Minnesota is
Arroyo, I thought was
because
going to be better as a rookie.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
TJ is just
with
banged
TJ,
up.
but TJ's banged up. Exactly, that's why he's down there. And then I got Pittsburgh at 21 because I don't feel the same way about Washington that you do. You love Washington, Muth. I'm less
Whoa, whoa,
inclined.
whoa, whoa. You pause. You go back and listen to any episode. I bashed Washington. Brad was the lover of Washington. I do.
You thought
I
he
like to
should get
let the Muth
he
loose.
got paid, man.
He did get paid. He also caught like 12 whole balls, even
Right.
though he got paid. But
He's
no,
because he's basically an
I'm
offensive lineman.
spot on okay with having Pittsburgh that low. I like Muth better than Washington.
Well, yeah, no, I know you love Moose way better,
Yeah.
better than Washington. There's no doubt about that. You've been on the Fryermuth train since he came out.
Mhm.
20th is Tampa. The Rams are at 19 because they have
What?
too many options and they don't know what they're doing.
What?
Houston is 18
Rams might be in my top 6.
because they have a bunch of guys who are good but
But I
not
like
great.
them
I mean, good
all.
at best.
I like them all.
Yeah,
You know, I
okay.
really like Fergie.
Yeah.
Higbee's awesome and old and hurt all the time.
Okay.
He's on his way
Ringing
out.
endorsement.
My Colby's going to get probably traded. I'm not going to lie because they
Terrence
got two
Ferguson,
youngs. Yep.
Max Clare. Yeah, those two guys
Yep.
could be great. That's why they're where they're at for me. I really should have been about 16 or something. There's no way they're top 6 because they don't know what they're doing. Once they figure next year,
when
this
you
team can
offend
jump
me,
10 spots.
I'm going to exaggerate, but they're definitely top 10.
Well, I'm offending the Rams, not you.
No, I got offended. I felt it.
All right. Houston is at 18 because, again, they've got Schultz, and that's about it. Kansas City's at 17 because we still don't know how long Travis Kelce's playing for. He might be there.
I'd still have the Rams above them.
And Gray is okay. I'd be fine.
The Rams are my new
Rams
benchmark.
up a few spots.
I'm just saying Rams are better.
I got Phillies at 16 because Goddard is there, and that
might be
that
gone.
right there. Though the Rams or not Rams, the Eagles are the same litmus where you really like some of the pieces the Rams have. I happen to really like Eli Stowers, and you didn't. So I think he's going to be a seamless transition for them.
No, I was okay with him. You loved him.
Yeah, the fair. The Chargers are at 15 because with Gadsden, and then they grabbed Njoku. I think they're fine right there. Atlanta's at 14.
The best one by far.
Atlanta would be higher if I had any confidence that they were keeping Kyle Pitts. But I have no clue. That's why they're sitting at 14.
Still wouldn't.
They're in the middle.
I still wouldn't have them that high.
Couldn't put them any higher than that because of that. The Jets are at 13.
Well, hold on. The Lions and then the Chargers, definitely the best two so far.
I actually hadn't said the Lions yet.
Yeah, you did.
No, the Lions are next.
Timestamp it. 48 minutes in. See what you said. And
all I know is 15 is the Chargers. So I was giving you because I was only giving you the 6-pack, and the 6-pack stopped with the Chargers, and we moved on again because you kept interrupting with the Rams. All right, the next 6-pack is Atlanta, Giants, Detroit, Green Bay, Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Atlanta, I can't push back too hard, but I definitely have the Chargers above that. Atlanta, Giants,
Jets, not Giants. No, you want the Giants?
I swear you said Giants.
No, I said New York.
We're gonna have to go back. When you edit this, don't lie to me. Jets, yeah, okay. I mean, projecting a little bit with Taylor, but
Detroit's at 12 because I love Laporta, but they don't have a whole lot behind him, and Laporta's been hurt.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And who else did you say?
Green Bay's at 11.
What?
Because Kraft is really good. Kraft is really good.
But and so is Kraft's definitely better. Musgraves, even though they drafted Musgraves before him, and
right? Which is still funny
about that pick.
We both
and then they
did.
drafted Kraft, and I went, damn it! But they've both been hurt. So I think
I'm
based on
believing
your,
one of them is going to be healthy.
I think Laporta is better than both of them. And if you're going to ding Laporta for being
Look,
hurt, you got to
I
ding
can
Kraft
move.
more.
I'll move Detroit up to
Yeah.
11
All
instead
right.
of the
Keep going.
12. Cincinnati 10, Cleveland 9. Again, Cleveland being at 9 is mostly
Cincinnati?
because Harold Fannin. Yeah.
What the hell am I missing? What have I forgotten?
Well, I mean, you probably just forgotten, what they've
I
been
love
up to.
Gesicki, but he's just
That's
never
my
really
point.
been.
You love your boy
You've
Gesicki.
said
He isn't
about
even their
7
starter.
teams. You've said about 7 teams I think I'd have above the Cincinnati Bengals. Who's
Well, I
their
also
starter?
the starter is technically Drew Sample,
No, he's not.
I know.
Get out of here.
but
Move
they also have
Cincinnati
Eric All
down
and they
about,
have Jack Andrews. So,
yeah, move them down about 10 spots, Mike.
10's a bit harsh. I'm
Fine,
willing to move them back
9
to
and a
about
half.
16. All right, and then Cleveland's at 9 because again, Harold Fannin was a beast last year. They just have a lot behind him now that they got rid of
Wait,
Majoka.
what number?
9.
You're wrong.
What you got him at 5?
I didn't rank them, Dan, but off the top of my head, I'd probably put them in my top 6 too. There's
But again, it's only Fannin though. When you look at the
I don't
rest of their
care.
depth chart, we're not just doing
Fannon's a
starters
frickin'
here,
tight
we're doing
end
the whole
and a wide
team.
receiver. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I got a clear
No,
cut top
here's the thing,
3, and then Fannon's
behind Fannin.
I'm not even saying Cleveland.
Right,
Fannon's
it's
in the
just Fannin,
conversation
right?
for 4.
Behind
Yeah.
Fannin, it's Blake Whitehart,
I don't
Joe
care.
Royer, Jack Stoll, Carson Ryan.
I liked Royer. I like Royer a lot.
Yeah, well, you would have him up higher then, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Cleveland
I
lover.
would. They're probably
You
in my
heard
top
it here
6.
first. JP loves Cleveland. 8 is Dallas, 7's Baltimore, 6 is Indy, and 5 is Buffalo.
Dallas, Baltimore. What in the hell?
Andrews
is
has got
going
at least
on?
3 years in him.
What? 3 games? Then he's hurt. Then he comes back 3 weeks later and plays 3 more games, and then he's hurt. Can't believe they let Likely go. They should have let Andrews go and kept Likely.
I don't
completely against
disagree
that.
with that.
Which
But
is
they've
why
got
I
Hibner.
think the Giants should
They
be
got Durham
infinitely
Smythe.
higher.
No, well, you can be wrong. It's fine. But we can both agree that,
Who else
that
did
Dallas
you say
is
in that bunch?
Dallas
I heard
and
nothing
Indy.
but Baltimore.
Dallas, Indy, and Buffalo.
I'm super pit.
What?
What number did you put Indy at?
Indy's at 6.
No, higher.
What? No. Tyler Warren and the corpse of Mo Alley Cox.
I don't care. Sweet. That's a big corpse.
It's a big corpse. He's a big man. There's no doubt about that.
Um,
And it's a bit disingenuous, but Alley Cox is getting older.
Indianapolis, I felt like is locked into my top 4.
Yeah, but again, you're banking that off of just Tyler Warren.
Yes.
And that doesn't work for me when
because
you need
he's
to have
insanely,
somebody else.
insanely good. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Not when you have Tyler freaking Warren.
And then Buffalo is 1 spot ahead of them because they actually have 2 tight ends.
Nope.
Yep.
I would trade both Buffalo tight ends for Warren right now. In real life.
Well, I think
fantasy,
Buffalo would
everything.
too because I think they wouldn't have to pay as much.
So, therefore, you're wrong.
Well, yeah, but we weren't talking about contracts. We literally said we weren't talking about contracts. All right, San Francisco starts off the top 4 because George Kittle.
Yeah, who's blow out his freaking Achilles.
Yeah, you blow out your
and
Achilles.
he's always had injury issues. No way.
And yet
That's too
he's
high.
he's great. This is where you
He's
can
top
start
12.
trying to. That's okay. Well, yeah, they're definitely top 12. All right, this is where you can get at me
Not
because if you were going off of your basis, you probably think this team's number 1. That I got a 3, but Arizona is 3 because they have Trey McBride, who's amazing, and nothing else.
No, I don't have him at 1, but
Nor should you. Because 1 and 2 are by far the 2 best tight end rooms in the league.
I would say I probably have Arizona at 3 or 4.
Yeah, Arizona's 3
because you've already talked about the teams. 3 and 4 in some order are the Colts and Cardinals. That's McBride and Warren. They're in my top 4. Lock them in.
Yeah, well, again, you're wrong on the Indy there at 6, but Chicago's 2, Vegas is 1.
That's what I currently have, but I sadly think I'm probably wrong.
I mean, I'd be fine flip-flopping them because Mayer is the question mark.
Bowers makes me want to say 1. Mayer's awesome number 2.
Right.
I gotta stay Raiders 1, Chicago Bears 2.
Especially because I don't see Kmet being with them for 3 seasons.
Yeah. So. And that's why I was sticking with it.
Yeah, that's where that's at. All right. We have reached the halfway point at darn
54
near
minutes.
50 some odd minutes. Yeah, exactly. So why don't you tell me what you are sipping on that you've already had to add
I'm
to it
gonna.
because of the shenanigans that you think I'm spouting out here?
Yep. Yep. You really frustrated me with tight ends, man.
Love it. About
Um,
time.
dude. So super quick take.
Hmm.
Because we're super long. We
Well, we've
still
had some
have.
long booze
There's
takes
no
lately.
way. Well, there's no way we're finishing this.
Oh no, we are. Dude. So we've talked about this, mentioned once or twice. We're doing a DraftCraft website very soon. You'll be able to see our big boards on there. You'll be able to see all of the episodes, the notes, etc. We had one episode that went 2 hours
Yeah.
in our
I will.
almost 400 episodes. This is not going
I
to go
will
two
get.
hours.
I will get killed.
Wait, no, we're not doing
Anyways,
that. Pick up the
um,
pace.
so I'm gonna fast with this. So I decided to sip this
Yes.
Wild
Classic.
Turkey Rare Breed, but it's the rye.
I was about to say, I saw a green label on there.
So this is very, very, very good. It tastes very similar to the regular Rare Breed bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Just minus, like you just take any of the sweet notes out and just lean hard into the spice and the cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome pour.
So
But
that's
it's just
why you're happy.
Yes, but the main take that I wanted to do with this is
Mm-hmm.
it just seems like there's some distilleries that lean, for my palate, not
Mm-hmm.
everybody's, hard one way or another. So just real
Sure.
quick, because we'll keep it short. Wild Turkey, stick to bourbon. For my
Mhm.
palate. They just, the ryes just aren't as good. They're
Mhm.
good, but just like, dude, your bourbons, you crush them. Just stay there. Jack Daniels, stick to the rye.
Stay away from whiskey, in fact.
Stay away from the bourbon, even though some people love it. I love the ryes, not a fan of the bourbon.
Yeah,
right?
the old number seven,
Old
the
Forester.
legend.
Old Forester,
Mhm.
love their bourbon. Have yet to have a rye by Old Forester that I've enjoyed.
There you go.
Not a single one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well, and
It's
again,
just, it seems
some
like
places
there's
are just better than
distilleries that
others.
just, yeah.
I
this
believe that.
seems like they can lean around. So,
But we also recommend if you like one thing from a distillery, try something else from them because you may disagree with JP. You never know.
yeah.
I have been
Just like
drinking. Right, exactly. I've been drinking a little Mitten brewing here in Grand Rapids. This is the Fogout, which is a New England style IPA because it seemed like a fun idea, right? And again, for those of you who aren't from Grand Rapids in this area, Mitten Brewing, first off, freaking one of the only place that I've ever been to personally that does a flight but of pizza. So you can do 6 different flavors of pizza in a flight. Now, you don't get quite as much topping because it's smaller pizzas, et cetera, whatever, but still, if you want to try a bunch of fun flavored pizzas, yeah, they're there for that. They also have a bunch of fun flavored beers, and all of this is baseball themed. Everything has to do something with baseball. So Fall Guys pushing a little bit on Simone, but for example, at my wedding that you were at about 4 months ago, now we had the Triple Crown Brown from them that was there, which was definitely one that I sipped on because it was one I had the least of. But this is, and I don't know if you saw my face right when I drank it, it's a 6.5%, so it's very straight up standard. It says it's a tropicals, fruit flavor and aromatics, but not the mango tropical, right? The tropical you wouldn't mind, I don't think. It's not floral tropical, it's fruit tropical. And it is a straight up New England IPA. Very good job. Not amazing, but solid, right? So I would say this is in like the 3.25 category. Definitely would drink it again if someone gave it to me. Great drink for warm days. But yeah, just it's fine. No complaints. Probably not one that I will go get a 6-pack of. But if someone handed me one, I would be pleased to drink it. And I feel like that's a good benchmark. If someone's going to hand you a beer and you're like, I'll be happy for the next 20 minutes, you're in pretty good shape.
That's a good one.
Okay. Second half. Wide receivers. Guess who's last?
The Chiefs?
No, it's Miami.
No, Miami
No, the
would be
Chiefs
last
are-
for me too. The Chiefs are
Yeah.
the one that
Chiefs
I
are
don't
higher.
know where I would put them. I don't know where
the
I'd
Chiefs
put them.
moved up as of like yesterday, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But Miami's at 32, and don't hate me for this because we both hope that Jack
Raiders.
Besh plays better, but the Raiders are 31.
No, we're even so far. It's the exact same. It's
You got
Cleveland
Washington
30.
Well, I got Washington at 30. I don't have Cleveland quite as low because I'm banking on the rookies doing some stuff. So Washington's 30.
Yeah, but
San
Washington's
Francisco
got some
29.
players have already done. You're fully
Yeah.
projecting 2 rookies for Cleveland.
But I'm also believing Washington's. I mean, the best receiver for Washington is turning 30 this year.
It's still scary, Terry.
It is Scary Terry, and while I don't want to go up against a man with that name, by 33 he might not be who you're
Don't
hoping
get me
he's
wrong.
going to be.
Washington's still in the late
They're in
20s for me.
Right, exactly. So 29 is San Francisco, then Tennessee, the Giants,
Oh,
and New Orleans. And the Giants in New Orleans are down that low
I
because of injury questions. Tennessee is down that low because they have a rookie and that's it.
on board with everything except for I'd have San Fran and New Orleans probably like 4 spots higher because
Yeah,
Mike
fair.
Evans, Hall of Famer, awesome. If
Hmm.
New Orleans stays healthy, they're going to jump 15
Yeah,
spots.
yeah, exactly. And San Francisco, if Mike Evans plays 3 seasons, sure, they'll be up there. If Ricky
Yeah, but
Pearsall
they
stays
still have
healthy for all three of
pretty
them,
Ricky. Yeah,
if
with
he
both.
stays healthy for all three of them, right? And so
I
that's
would
what
have them in the. I'd have
they're
San
high
Fran in the
variance.
low to mid 20s, same as New
San
Orleans.
Francisco is
Anyways.
those two are both
Yeah.
big variance teams. I have Cleveland at 25 because again, I realize I'm projecting big time on the
Sorry,
rookies.
I had a dog in my lap.
Yeah, you do.
Wasn't expecting that.
Between Judy and Jerry Judy having less pressure on him and them having one fewer mouth to feed at tight end, Cleveland's 25. Atlanta's 24 because it's Drake London and the hope that Zachariah Branch is going to be able to put up some numbers.
Okay, that's the
Indianapolis,
first one. I would have Atlanta in my top 10.
because of Drake London.
Drake London's freaking awesome.
He
and
is.
I will project a little bit with Branch, too.
And you hope that the tiny man Branch, who I love too, don't get me wrong,
But
is going to defy
there's
the odds.
teams that have money aside, because I know you'll go there with contracts.
Mhm.
Money aside, there's teams I'd trade their entire wide receiver room for just Drake London and start over.
No, there
Like,
are some teams. They're playing
I would
teams. who
take
agree with
Drake London, me and you, over
you. Ha!
other teams' whole
The-
rooms.
Again, Drake London has also not stayed healthy his whole career either. So that's where
All
I'm
right.
putting him down there.
Still be top
Indianapolis
10.
is, yeah. So Indy is 23, then Kansas City, New England, and Green Bay. Because Indy is down there
Kansas
because
City, Green
I like
Bay.
Downs. I don't trust Pierce. Kansas City is there because while Rashi Rice got out of
I agree with
jail,
that.
congratulations, and apparently, ran to the car that was picking him up. So people who are worried about his knee injury, at least he can jog. So that's the other question. New England with AJ Brown, they're up higher, but how much does AJ Brown have left in the tank? Good question.
I would have New England in my top 12 still.
Okay, I got him
Probably.
lower just because I don't necessarily trust what's going on behind
AJ's
him.
going to play 2 years easy. I like Dobbs, especially the blocking piece of Dobbs.
Well,
game.
Dobbs
But then
is
you
a
got-
two, a real
got-
two.
You also have Mac Hollins. You've got Booty. You've got Williams.
Well, he might not have Booty.
Huh? Well, no,
I-
they're going to
I-
trade some
I
of these
project
guys.
at
You
least
got
one of those guys to be gone.
Douglas. You got my little fella Chisholm.
Look, everybody
Yeah.
they got better by putting
They got
AJ
the
Brown there
deepest
because
room.
well, they had a bunch of 2s, 3s, and 4s.
Mhm.
Right.
But now they got a one who's
now they got a
probably
one.
going to play at least 2 more years. Dobbs
And-
is a great 2. And then they've got I don't know, 6 other potential 3s.
All right. Well, I'm at very least I'm moving him up one spot because I have no problem anytime you want me to move Green Bay down a spot.
Okay.
Green Bay is sitting at 21 because they have a bunch of 2s.
Mm-hmm.
And no one stepped up. And they also lost some of those 2s and didn't really
And
replace them.
Watson's injury prone.
And Watson's injury prone, even though he got paid too.
Mhm.
19 is where I've got Buffalo. Then the Rams, Philly, Jacksonville, and the Chargers.
See, Rams and the Chargers, I would definitely I'd have Chargers in my top 12. Rams, I'd probably have in my top 6.
Well, Devontae's not playing 3 seasons.
No, he's not. He's probably going to play.
So
if they
you've
win another
got
Super Bowl, he'll be done.
He'll
If they
be done,
don't
right.
win the Super Bowl, he might try to squeeze 2 at best.
So the
Puka,
Rams have
you've
got
for
Puka.
3 years, and I like Whittington quite a bit, but I'll take Puka. Let's just say Puka for 3, Adams for 1, and Whittington as your 3 for 3. They're still going to be top 6.
Yeah,
for me.
but
they're
they
probably
don't
gonna
have an
be-
answer
They're
outside
probably
of
going
Puka.
to.
You like
probably
Whittington better
gonna
than I
be
do.
5.
That's probably where that comes out. They're not 5. That's hilarious. No,
I'd probably put them at 5.
I can see moving
can only
into the
think of
top
4
half. But
I can
no.
think of 4, maybe 5 teams that I would put. Nah, I can think of 5 teams I'd put 4. We'll see. I'll try
Okay,
to do it
well,
again.
again,
Go ahead.
Not disagreeing with you. Puka's awesome. However, we've already seen through this offseason, Puka doesn't always make the best choices. So we're going to see what happens
Correct.
with him.
There's 4
and
I'd
again,
put above them.
Right.
Rams might be at 5 for me.
The Chargers, I think because I'm not completely sold on Q. I love him, but he's so inconsistent. Obviously, we both love Ladd. And I liked Harris, but I'm also not convinced on him yet. So they're a team
They're
who
at
could
that
easily
11,
move
12.
up. Yeah,
They
they
would
could
make my
easily
top
move
12
up
for
some
sure.
spots. I got Tampa at 14, Carolina's 13, Arizona's 12, Baltimore's 11,
14.
Pittsburgh's 10, Chicago's 9.
Tampa, I would have probably lower, even though I like Ibuka a lot. But Godwin's,
Godwin's old.
man.
That's why I
Yeah,
have him at
and
14.
McMillan, I don't know about that.
Right.
Pittsburgh's probably, I'd have them in the 15, 16 range. Who else did you say?
Carolina, Arizona, Baltimore, and Chicago.
Carolina, I would have probably in my top 12 for
Yeah,
sure.
you love Carolina.
Yeah, I'd
I got
probably
him at
have
13.
top 10. You said who? Baltimore?
Arizona, Baltimore, and Chicago. Because Baltimore
See,
has
I'd have
Zay and a bunch
Arizona.
of questions.
I'd have Arizona and Baltimore at like the 20 range.
See, and I think, dude, we got to stop hating on Arizona, and we gotta remember that a man that we did not believe in, and Michael Wilson, is a decent wide receiver.
Yeah, but he's decent, and Marvin Harrison has looked awful compared to what he should
Yeah,
have
again,
been.
I still feel the man has the talent, so I still think
I
they're going to find
agree.
a way. Look, I'm counting on your Mount Pleasant boy to make that happen. We'll see.
We'll see. I'd like to say I still have him in the late teens, around 20, probably.
Right. And
Both of
Chicago
them.
is sitting at 9 purely because I don't know how much longer Khalif Raymond's got.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I love
okay.
Adunze, love
Dang.
Burden. Love
I
both
love-
of them. But Young
like
and then
Leaf.
Leaf might not be there 3 years. We'll see. I mean, he'll want to play 3 years. I just don't know if he's going to give him 3 years.
Chicago is probably flirting like with that 12, 13 area.
Oh, see, I
for
think
me.
that if anything,
Unless you're allowing
that's
me
too
to
low.
project, because I love Rome. And
Well, I think Rome and Burden both are.
I
gonna
love
be
Burden
great.
as a 2. Hated
Right.
Burden as a 1.
Right.
But if you're projecting, then yeah, I would probably move them up to 9.
Yeah, that's where I've
Where
got
did you
him.
have them?
So
Oh,
we
you
at
have 'em?
least agree with that.
I
So
have
that's good.
8 that I know I would still have above them, but I think
Sure.
they have the potential to move up because I think Roma Dunze is a freaking monster.
All right. Well, the next 4 rather. So top 8: Houston, Denver, Minnesota, and Seattle.
I have Houston in my top 8. I have Seattle in the top 8. Houston, Seattle, Denver, and who else?
Minnesota.
Minnesota is my number 4.
Okay. You like them a little better than I do.
Denver, I probably have in the middle of the, like 16. Put them at 16.
Really?
I keep them to make sure in the top half because Sutton's getting a little older. He's never really truly impressed me. Waddle's injury prone is all get out. Franklin, I love. He still hasn't done it.
Right.
Bryant, I love. He still hasn't done it.
So you're basically banking that on Waddle getting hurt. Because otherwise, that's a good.
You projected a lot of
room.
injuries with some tackles.
Yeah.
It's a good room potential. If you guarantee me health, yeah, go ahead, move them up.
All right.
yeah,
Again,
I have
Seattle's
Minnesota at
not
4.
higher because
Seattle?
JSN is one of
Probably
the
like
best
6,
wide receivers, but
7.
Cooper Cup's not
See,
hanging around that much longer.
Seattle's probably tied with like Atlanta for me because I love
disagree with that.
JSN. I love London.
Mm-hmm.
Branch. Like I like Horton though. Now I'd have Seattle 1 above probably Atlanta because I like Torrey Horton a lot.
No, well, I like Horton, and I also think that Bobo's got some run in him too still. Because again, as much as we both love Cooper Cup, he's not going to be.
But
there
I'm still saying that puts Seattle in my top 6. Where are you at?
5.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we're on the same page there. Yeah. Top 4. I got Detroit at 4. I got the Jets rather at 3. Dallas is 2. Cincinnati's 1. And I do believe that there's a bit of a gap between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
So I have Cincinnati at 1 and Dallas at 2. I agree with you there, but I have Detroit at 3, Minnesota at 4, the Rams at 5. That'd be my top 5. Seattle 6. That'd be my top 6.
Where would you put the Jets then? Because you're obviously a hater, and I want to understand why.
13 or 14. Like, I don't know. They're like, I don't know. They're probably in that same cluster as like the Chargers and the Bears. Like, I like the depth of this room a lot. Wilson's a guy that's played way better than I think he is.
Right.
I love the potential of Cooper. Haven't seen it yet. I actually like Mitchell a lot, but haven't seen it yet. So it's
between those 3 and Arian Smith.
They're one of the ones that I would use your take and say I'll put them at like 13, 14, and they have the potential to move up for sure.
Yeah, I'm probably a bit more bullish than other people are on them, but I do think that room is in really good shape. Now, mind you, that room could also move up next year anyways because they may have a more competent quarterback. No offense, Gino. We'll see. Running back. You know who's not last this time? It's not Miami. Because they do have a good running back. We'll get to them in a minute. I have Tennessee at 32. Minnesota's 31. Washington is 30. Jacksonville's 29. Chicago's 28. And Carolina's 27.
Pretty much have almost all that verbatim because my bottom is Minnesota, Tennessee, Washington, and the rest are only off by like 1 or 2. But the only thing is I tentatively kind of just put is I put as 33 because I didn't know what to do with them. Was Green Bay because I don't know what's happening with Josh Jacobs.
Sure. Yeah. It seems like
Because
the
if you
stuff
take
that's going
him
to come
out,
out of that, oh yeah, then there's nothing. Yeah. No, I agree with you. They feature in the next grouping because the 26 I've got
okay,
Houston, and then Seattle's
they're
25,
there.
Green Bay's 24, Denver 23, Dallas 22, the Giants
Whoa,
21.
whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, you're not far off. All right. I thought I had Denver a lot higher, but
Dude,
they're too young.
They're too
Denver's
young.
the potential team that could
Yeah, and
skyrocket up.
The Giants could go way up if Cam Scadaboo can play a healthy season, but we both know that that's probably not going to happen, which is sad.
Yeah, but I would definitely have the Giants as the best team that you've said so far
And they
because
are.
I'm not projecting the injuries, and I like Tracy a lot too. So if
Sure.
they stay
He's
healthy
a great
in that room,
complimentary back. Yeah.
like
I don't like Tracy as a feature.
I would probably put the Giants at like 13 just so they couldn't be in my top 12. But
No,
I
fair.
like the potential of it.
Yeah, well,
There's too
I
risky.
love the scat.
It's too risky.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I got him at 21. 20 is Arizona, New Orleans, and New Orleans is in that spot.
I have him in the exact same spot.
Nice, and it's there because we know Kamara's not gonna be there forever. But Etienne could be good.
And the only reason I know that is because I did rank my quarterbacks and running backs before doing this, and then I realized I didn't want to do it, and that's when I called you and said I wanted raw takes. So the rest, I have numbers.
Okay, well, that should make things interesting. At Arizona, I've got at 19 because, yes, they do have Love, but
I put them at 7.
Wow. You really like a bunch of injured guys and a rookie.
Dude, it's Connor and Benson.
Injured.
I like them both.
Injured.
Sweet. Not right now.
Injured. Right, not right now, but... And I love Benson coming out of college. I still have him on the fantasy team because I'm still hoping something happens there, but I'm not banking on it. And again, Love could be amazing. This team can move up halfway through the season if we redid this. But right now, I just can't bank on them being consistent. Pittsburgh's at 18, much to my chagrin because Caleb Johnson should have had him way higher, but he isn't.
Hey, where are they at?
18.
Well, that's our biggest discrepancy, hands down. I am at 28.
No, well, yeah, I don't think they're good. Maybe I'm a little bit more optimistic than you are, but we can, again.
Very much so.
As I said at the beginning, over an hour ago, I have no problem moving some of these teams around like 10 spots. Pittsburgh moving back would not be something I'd be upset about. New England's at 17 because while we all love. Nice. So we all love what Henderson did as a rookie in small bits. I don't know if he's ready to take on a bigger role necessarily.
He is.
Tampa's at 16. And that's because we're hoping Bucky's healthy, and I'm not sure about Tucker and the guys behind him.
Where'd you have Tampa?
16.
Same.
All right. 15 is the Chargers because I'm still hoping Marion Hampton's going to be healthy this year.
Whoa.
And otherwise, I'm concerned.
I had Chargers at 17.
14 is where I got the fish. It's where Miami's sitting because they have...
I had them at 15.
Nice. They have A-Chain and they have nothing else.
Yep.
And
we have the same cluster there.
Right. And this is kind of the kind of line of demarcation for me is right there. The top 13... I could be talked into moving them up a bit if you want to, but because 13 is where I've got Cincinnati because Chase Brown's great, and otherwise, I don't know.
Or no, I have Cincinnati at 14, sorry.
Right.
No, I don't.
12,
they're at 13. They're at 13.
Okay.
You're right.
12 is Baltimore because Derrick Henry's amazing, but he's not going to be able to last for 3 years. But I do love the guy that got come behind him now because Randall's
Baltimore
my boy.
12 too.
Right. Randall's my boy. I got the Jets at 11. Some people definitely have him higher. Okay, that's not as high as some people probably have them. Cleveland's 10 because the rookies and the second-year guys. I think Cleveland is going to be a much better running team than clearly you do by your eyebrows right there.
I am at 24 because Judkins I wasn't a fan of. Andy got hurt, and Sampson still didn't do a ton. It's still they could change it. They're one of the ones that can move a lot.
Yeah, I think they're in that range.
They're the same as Denver to me.
All right, fair. Yeah, I think it's interesting given that I've got them 13 spots apart. But Cleveland is a team that I just feel good about.
2 young guys that are good, but we haven't seen it.
Yeah, right. Well, and again, I also think they're going to need a boost from the offense they're going to be playing in this year too. Now that they have a coach that seems to know what he's doing. Indianapolis is at 9 because again Taylor's great, and the rest of them are kind of question marks. Kansas City is at 8 because they paid for Kenneth Walker. Oh, what do you got?
I think I messed. Yeah, I KC at 11. Okay, but I have, and they did pay for it. I had the Colts at 4.
Sure, yeah, because Jonathan Taylor's great, but that's my point. They don't have anything else. San Francisco's sitting at 7 because Christian McCaffrey's awesome, but also is going to play 3 more years. I don't think he will.
I think he's playing 2 more years, and I have him at 3. Don't care. I'll take CMC for 2 years and
Sure.
cross my fingers after that.
Well, this is where I want you to not get mad at me, but at 6 is where I've got Vegas because, well, we all believe in Ashton Jeanty.
I have him at 8.
Okay. I actually like him better than you.
I actually thought it was too low because I was like, man, and I think it is. I think I would put them above Arizona because I'll take Jeanty and Mike Washington over
the cluster
Love
of the
and
backfield.
The injuries. Yeah. So I'm actually going to move them up to 7.
Ooh, that's a new name for the boy band for the Arizona running room.
There you go.
Loving the injuries. Yep. 5 is where I've got Buffalo because James Cook is solid.
I have Buffalo at 5 as well.
There you go. 4 is Detroit because we haven't seen Jahmyr Gibbs take on a full season load yet. So I'm concerned that he's not going to be able to do that at the same level. Plus Isaiah Pacheco, yes, I like him, but he's still a downgrade from Knuckles. 3, the Rams.
You're wrong there.
The Rams at 3? Or the Lions at 4?
Yes, you're wrong there too. I have the Rams at 10.
Wow. All right. Don't like Kyron too much? Don't like Blake Corum as a change as a backup?
Huge on Kyron Williams.
He's been productive.
Solid. He has. But I'll take Jeanty, Love, Barkley, Cook, Taylor, CMC, and my top 2 over him for sure.
Right. Most of those guys don't have solid backups, though. Williams has a solid backup with Corum.
Actually, all of them.
No, they don't.
Except for Philly and Buffalo.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Pacheco is not a solid backup. Pacheco is just a sledgehammer. He's a sledgehammer. He's not a solid backup.
No, he's very solid backup.
He's a sledgehammer. He's not a solid backup.
I didn't say
Well, he was in the grouping. So
no, he wasn't.
Well, he's in the grouping of teams that I've got around there. So Philly is at 2 because Saquon's still Saquon until he decides not to be Saquon.
He's at 6. They're at 6.
Number 1 is Atlanta because Bijan
number 1 is
spectacular. And again, he is someone who's going to get the second contract. Obviously, we figure any day now, or he's going to wait for Gibbs. But either way, he's going to probably be the highest paid running back in the NFL by the time he's done. And he's got good backups.
I have Atlanta at 1, and I almost put Detroit at 1 because I absolutely love Isaiah Pacheco. I think he's almost the same thing as Monty. I would rather have Monty,
I think he's a great fit.
Drop off.
Well, we'll see. I think he's a great fit, and I think if they use him properly, it'll be fine. I just don't trust his passing game, and I don't trust him to run for more than 5 yards. So we'll see what happens. Quarterbacks. Guess who's last?
This one should go.
It's not Miami.
Relatively quickly?
Yeah, it's not Miami. I have Arizona dead last.
Oh, I have Arizona at 31.
Okay, Miami's 31. Because as much as I hope
Miami
for Willis, this is not good. The Jets are 30.
I have the Jets at 32. So same bottom 3.
Same bottom 3 in a certain order. Then it's Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Indy.
If you skip 1, because I go Atlanta, then Indy, Cleveland, Pittsburgh.
So, you know what? Atlanta is at 25. We got the Rams at 26 because we have no clue what's going to happen with Stafford, and we're hoping that Ty Simpson's going to be good. So I have the Rams, and this was if we would have started with quarterback, that would have been my point of making about this is a 3-year window, and you're going to see teams different spots. Next year, the Rams are top 6 in quarterback, right? I mean, the only question mark is does Stafford stay healthy because he's the reigning MVP, right?
Well, just say it now at the same time. I put the Rams at 2.
Because you're hoping Stafford stays healthy for 3 years, or you think the system's going to be good enough?
I think Stafford's coming off from an MVP season. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Could have a great next year.
I think he does play 2 more years, and that gives 2 years for Ty Simpson. So, yeah, I like it. I have him at 2.
So what I'm banking on is Stafford plays this year, and either his back gives out on him finally, or they win a title and he goes out with that. And McVay leaves too, so now Simpson's starting with a new coach.
If they win a title, sure, I think McVay, Stafford, and Adams are all gone.
Right, and that's my point. So that's why I have them down where I've got them.
I'm not going to try to predict the Super Bowl winner. That's tough.
Wow. I mean, we basically figured the Rams are the odds-on favorite. Yeah. Well, that's why we're going to predict it. That's why we're going to keep saying it, because that means they won't win in Detroit.
Did I say it? I said the Rams and Ravens.
I think I said Rams and Buffalo. So, yeah, because for some reason I still can't quit Buffalo, just like other people in Buffalo.
So Rams solidarity, is the biggest discrepancy for sure.
Indy, I've got at 27 because
Adam at 28.
Daniel Jones is coming off of an ACL. We have an Achilles. We have no idea what's going to happen there. 25 is Atlanta which you have down there too, and I do as well
Hmm.
because they've got two lefties
Penix
that
is
get hurt.
awful.
They
And
got two
then
lefties
Tua
that
just
get
can't
hurt.
stay healthy.
Right.
And when you have two quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
All
So
right.
that's why I put them down there in the no quarterback zone.
Well, 24, New Orleans thinks they have a quarterback that you and I still aren't
Well,
sold on.
same.
So,
I have them at
hey.
24.
All right. 23 is Minnesota because JJ or Kyler are two flawed quarterbacks. So take your pick.
I have
What you
Minnesota
want
at
to do there?
25.
There you go. Tennessee is 22 because people still believe in
Ah,
Cam Ward.
frick. I have them at 23.
Ha!
We're almost.
We're in good shape. The Giants
The
are at
Rams are
21
throwing us
because,
off.
yeah, right. The Giants are at 21 because we're hoping that Jackson Dart stays healthy.
I have them at 19.
Okay. And then I've got Vegas at 20 because Mendoza
Yes.
could be great.
I have
There
them
you
at 20.
go. This is great. We're lining up on quarterbacks at least. Rest of the league,
Yeah.
maybe not so
except
much. But
except for the Rams.
except for the Rams because we're using two very different metrics to gauge those two. All right. Then at 19 is Tampa because we think Baker's going to be there for 3 years, but maybe not. And also Baker's been inconsistent. Tampa was always
I am
going to
at
be around the
14.
middle. Look,
I'm at
I can see
14.
that. Yeah, but Tampa was always going to be around the middle. I just had to find a spot for him. Carolina's at 18. They could go lower because Bryce might be the answer, but he also
have
might
them
not.
at 22.
Sure, yeah, and that would not surprise me. I can move them back a bit. Don't hate me. I got Bo Nix and Denver at 17. I'm still not sold
I
on
have them
Bo.
at-
Plus, he came
I
off
have
the
them at
ankle.
13.
Okay.
It's not
I've got
awful.
Detroit smack dab in the middle at 16 because I love Jared Goff and I don't know what the next 3 years are going to bring for Detroit.
I have them at 8.
Sure, and that's fine. But again,
I'll
I have him at
explain once
16 because I'm hedging my bets.
we'll do a quick recap at the end of quarterbacks,
Okay.
and I'll explain why he's at 8.
Right, and it pains me to do this, but I had Green Bay at 15 with Jordan Love because even though I don't think he's that great, he feels like average seems like the right spot for him.
It makes me happy that you have him one spot higher than I do. I have him at 16.
There you go. Philly is 14 for me because I like Jalen Hurts, but we're still not sure what he
17.
is as a quarterback. Jacksonville is 13 because Trevor Lawrence is fun, but also we're still not quite sure what Trevor Lawrence is as a quarterback. We thought
I
he was
put
going to
him
light
at 10.
we thought he was going to light it on fire, and he's still catching on. Houston is at 12 and could be at 32 by the end of the season, depending on what they choose to do with CJ Stroud. So
I put them at 21.
All right,
Stroud had
Stroud
two,
scares you.
Yeah, two different completely seasons that terrified me.
Yeah, this will be the year where we figure out
And
what
their
CJ
wide
Stroud
receiver
is.
room, if you recall, was quite well.
Well, yeah, they have a great wide receiver room. I'm very, as long as those guys stay
But
healthy.
you
they're
could
in great
blame
shape.
the O-line, so I will defend him there.
Well, yeah. Again, let's go back to their O-line was 32 and 28 for me. So that's not going to help your quarterback. San Francisco's at 11. I love Brock Purdy.
Yes,
but
the exact same.
There you go. Seattle's at 10 because Sam Darnold came off a Super Bowl.
Oof.
He's very solid, but
I have Seattle at 15. I just know that any minute that man can see some ghosts.
dude, no, he's past the ghost, man. He is he's on the
I
other
don't know,
side, other side of the veil. But at the
Can't
same
do it.
time, he's great, but he's not transcendent. The rest of the teams we're talking about are either have established amazing quarterbacks or have the potential to have established amazing quarterbacks, starting with Washington at 9, because which Jaden Daniels is it? Which one is it?
I have Washington at 18, and I think it's too high because I'm not convinced Jaden Daniels can stay healthy.
Well, right, and that's the thing. He had a great rookie
And
year
if
when
he
he stayed
does
healthy.
stay healthy, he's got to stop running. If he stops running, I don't think he's that good of a quarterback because I think he uses his legs to help get people open and help with his accuracy.
Yeah, I
and
think
like
he's better than that. We're sort of splitting the difference here because I think he's better than you're giving him credit for. But I also agree with you that you take the running away from him, and he's going to have to. He's better than Jalen Hurts as a quarterback throwing the ball.
Yes, but I have Hurts. Well, I have Philly at 17, Washington at 18.
All right,
The
there you go.
only
Then.
reason I have Philly one spot above is because I trust him to stay healthy longer than.
Man, it's fair. He's built a little more solidly.
But
Dallas is
I don't
at
like
8. Got Dallas at 8. I do like
Dallas
Dak.
is at 9.
Yeah.
So you have to answer this for me because I basically ranked my elite quarterbacks, and then the first two after that is right where I put Goff and Prescott.
Okay.
Because they're just always so much better than what people ever realize they are.
Sure.
So that's why I have them back to back at 8 9.
Well, I could be convinced to put Dallas higher if you told me I was going to get 3 solid years out of Prescott when he's had injuries before. He's already almost 33. Where is he going to be by 36?
Goff
he could be
was
still
higher.
fine. Yeah, he could be still
why
fine.
do you have Dak above Goff by so much?
Dude, I just don't
I think you
know.
messed Goff up.
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to motivate him somehow.
Not be biased. I don't know.
Yeah, motivate him a little bit. Kansas City's at 7 because Pat Mahomes is amazing and also coming off an ACL.
See, I didn't factor in, I'm assuming he's going to stay healthy because ACLs aren't as big of a deal, and he's a quarterback and he doesn't rely on his legs a ton. I have that. I have him at 3.
I would put him higher, but we've seen last year, especially when he didn't have protection, he was pretty more above average, but not what he was before, which is the case for a lot of quarterbacks. My point is, he's good, but he's not great. He's not as great as everybody else makes him out to be. And I've got him at 7 because he's starting to get a little older too. Next 3 years, he's probably still going to be fine. 6 is where I've got Chicago because Caleb Williams has proved a bunch of stuff last year. And maybe I'm a little biased there. But dude, he had a great year last year.
12. I have him at 12.
Hater. 5, Justin Herbert. Yeah.
Herbert,
5 is Justin Herbert. Yeah.
Yep.
And again, he is someone who could move up this list too because he's got Mike McDaniel now calling plays for him that might help him out a little bit. 4 is where I've got Joe Burrow.
Elite. I had Herbert at the end of my 7 that I liked a lot.
Well, I've got 5 that I like a lot because even Caleb isn't in that grouping for me. Herbert is at 5. Joe Burrow's at 4 because, again, this year...
Burrow's at 5. And Joe Burrow would be 2 if you promised me health.
Right. Because Joe Burrow this year is going to have a great year, right? And then next year he's going to be hurt for half.
That's every other.
And then the year after that, right. So if you're
giving
me...
let him blow up the dynasty and then trade him?
It's the idea, yeah, because my team isn't going to be contending this year. So halfway through this season,
hear it first, y'all.
Yeah, halfway through the season,
Burrow's going to blow up this year, and Dan's going to trade Burrow for 3 first-round picks.
Well, or at least 2 first-rounders and a young quarterback that I think could do something. I don't know. We'll see. 3 is where I've got Drake May. Some people might have him higher than that, but I can't put him.
That. I have him at 6.
Ooh, all right.
It's only the 1 year. He's in my top 6 pack. I can't do it.
Okay, well then top 2. And you'll appreciate this because I have them in the order that you would put them in. It's Baltimore then Buffalo. I've got Josh ahead of Lamar.
I do too.
Yeah. But those are the 2 best.
I've got Josh Allen at 1 because I think he's the best quarterback in the league. I have doing my quick recap of just the top part. Rams, I do have. He came off the MVP season. He's the best quarterback in the league, and then you've got a successor to him.
Who you
I
hope
still
will
think he
work
can
out.
play 2 years, but even then, even if Stafford only plays 2 years, sweet. I still putting him up that high based on how he's playing. 3, I got Mahomey. 4, Lamar. 5, Burrow. 6, May. 7, Herbert. That was my elite thing, and then that's where I just went in the 2 underrated vets for Goff and Prescott through 9, and then I just did the 3, and that's where I'm stopping. The 3 young quarterbacks that I've just seen so much that they flash, and that is Lawrence, Purdy, and Caleb Williams.
Okay, well, Lawrence and Purdy both have gotten extra second contracts out of them. That's why I have Williams ahead of both of them because I believe his ceiling is still higher than where both of those guys are at. And again, we thought Trevor Lawrence
has the highest ceiling, but
but
I haven't seen it at all.
And when you've given me 5 years to see where you're at, I mean, he needs to hit that ceiling sooner than later. And this might be the year for him. We'll see. Point is, I didn't go through an average where everybody's at so far. I think we'll try to do that at the very end of all of, because I didn't put the spreadsheet together that way, at the very end of all of this. But the one thing that I can definitely say is Miami's going to be bad this year.
Probably picking 1.
That much I can give you. I'm not sure about any of the rest of the teams, but Miami fans, get ready for that number 1 pick in the nation's capital. Anything you want to wrap up here with an offense?
The only thing I would say on offense is I didn't realize how many teams need work on the interior line. I think that was the weakest overall. We had to go through so many teams before I started to get to someone. I'm like, I like that group.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that was interior linemen are thin.
Well, and I think we felt that way. Like there were a handful of guys we liked come out of this past draft, but it does feel like it's been weird the last couple seasons and the interior. Like it seems like just overall, it seems like that's a group that we haven't been as excited about the guys coming out.
Yep.
Like 1 or 2 here or there, but the overall classes.
I think it shows in this.
And
that was the one.
And we didn't feel good about this year's either, if you remember last time.
I talked about them for 34 minutes.
Right. Exactly. Sometimes you got to talk more about the things you're not sure about. So next time, though, we're going to talk about defense, and then we're going to have some fun. Now, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's college time.
Yes.
After this week, coming up with Jack.